Welcome to uphillradio. This is Twitter Spaces. We got a brand new interview. It's the Stick God interview. This is actually a part two. It has been some time. That first one was in 2021. I don't know the exact month, but it was some time ago. What up, Robert? Welcome to the show. A lot has changed since then because, boom, baby, we're in 2023, brand new year. And believe it or not, this is the first podcast. Stick God, we got you in.
Yep.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Stick God. How are we feeling,
Yeah.
bro?
I'm all right, man. I'm sorry I was like a little tiny bit late. I was in the studio. I was at Pat's studio and I was like, oh, it's 7 o'clock. And I had to run outside.
Yo, I love it. Yo, shout out
we're
to
in
Pat.
yeah, we were in some deep conversation.
Oh, dang. Well, maybe you can share a little bit of that in this interview.
Well, maybe. Now I'm walking into spider webs. Fuck all this.
I like the vibes, bro. There's a spooky vibes right there with Stick God.
For real.
Well, ladies
All
and
right.
gentlemen, you hear the man, you hear his voice, you feel the energy. Bro, talk about the vibes. How we feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. I mean, I feel like a new person, it's a new year.
Mm.
It's a new sticky.
Ooh, I like that. You know what? Since it is brand new 2023, how about we talk about resolutions if you do have any?
Resolutions. Man, I just want to be like I want to be the best version of myself that I can be, you
Mm,
know,
hmm
and I want to like take care of my family, both of my families, like my real family in the Drowsy South. I really want to elevate like my friends' careers. That's my main resolution, is to work on all my friends' music. I'm gonna, take a little break maybe at some point and just do my
Mm.
friends' music. I want to help my friends out. I love their music.
Yo, you know what? One thing that I really want to touch on, and we can talk about it right now if you like, is the love that you have for your brothers, for your family. The you're not selfish because I see a lot of different artists. A lot of them are selfish and just worried about their own path. But you, man, you let your folks shine, and to hear you say that, where do you think that comes from? You think you were born like that?
Man, so I get it. Like I understand hip hop is it's a piece to some people it's like a competitive sport. I get that. And I'm somewhat competitive in it myself, but I'm also kind of just a fan of like music, and I think music is what do you call it? Music is subjective.
Mm,
So it's like I feel like you should just make what you like. Like I'm not out here trying to be the best rapper ever. I'm just trying to make music that I like, that sounds good, that I want to listen to.
mm,
Uh and like I try to be as good as I can at it. And so in that effort, it's like I want my friends that I think make good music, I want them to do that as well. You know what I mean? I want them to make the best possible music they can, and I want people to hear it. And that's why I my whole career emphasizes like community. You know what I mean? Is because I care about these people and their lives, and like if they weren't doing good, I feel like I'm not doing good, you know?
whoa, bro, that's actually really great because that's the position I'm kind of in. Like I just want to help whoever is in the community shine bright and do my best to what my capability is. You know, Stick God, when you first started your journey, go ahead and let us know what year that was, and did you have that same support that you're giving?
Man, also I want to point out real quick too that you are the same way, man. You're right. You put on a lot of people in the community, and I've found a lot of dope artists through your interviews and shit, man. Like a lot, and I've worked with a lot of artists because of you.
Man, bro, I appreciate that, dude. I just feel like our paths align for a reason. You know what I mean? It doesn't stop here.
Oh, 100%, 100%, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So you asked like what year that I started making music,
Yes.
or what year did I just in general? Ooh. So I learned how to play. I've told you this before in the last interview,
Hmm.
but I learned. I think the first instrument I learned how to play was the bass guitar.
Right.
Whenever I was a kid, I was probably like I was younger than 10. I was probably like 9, maybe 8. I don't know.
Mm.
But my grandpa got me a bass guitar because he was like, "That's my favorite instrument, and if you want to be a rock star, you can play this." And I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Your grandpa?
And yeah, my grandpa,
Oh man,
man,
shout out your
one of my
grandparent.
grandpas.
Wow, bro, that's
Yeah,
dope.
he's a real rock and roll like head, I guess what you call it. Like he knows everything about rock and roll, man. He's always telling me fun facts and stuff. Shout out my grandpa.
Hey man, and you know what's so cool is that he introduced you to that at such a young age.
He did, yes. He was not about to shield me from rock and roll. He was like, check this shit out, man. Like that's what I listened to when I was young, is like all kinds of rock and roll, man. Like old school stuff.
um, what is it? What is his thoughts on your music right now?
You know, I've never really asked him directly what he thinks about my music because I don't know if he really listens to like hip hop,
Right.
but I know I know that he thinks I'm good at what I do. You know what I mean? Like I get that vibe from him that he's proud of me, and so I'm like, you know, that's good enough for me. I mean, it's not like I'm never gonna make some rock and roll type of music. That's gonna happen eventually, you know? It's just I'm glad he I'm glad even if he doesn't care for the music style, he could appreciate that I put a lot into it, you know?
Most def I think that's so important, man. Just to have your family support, it really takes you to new heights, you know?
Yeah. Well, he could tell I'm serious about it, I think. So
Mm.
that's all that matters, I think. I mean, if I was somebody's grandpa, that's all that would matter to me. It'd be like, as long as they're taking it serious, you know?
Yo, bro, stick up being a grandpa, dude. You'd be the badass grandpa, dude.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Yeah.
Oh, bro, yes. So, bro, stick God, when you were like when you really wanted to officially get into the music, did you have that support like how you're giving support
What do you mean, like from my peers?
from yeah from your peers, from anyone really?
Well, like my family's always been pretty supportive. You know, they've always thought that I had, I guess, a talent or something, or that I had the drive to do it. But like I don't know, like fan base wise, like it hasn't always been there. It's like been pretty underground for a while. I've been doing it for a long time, but it never really bothered me. Like I kind of just make music for myself to listen to at the end of the day, and for my friends. Like I'm really just competing with my friends. That's how it was in the beginning.
Competing with the friends, just like friendly
Yeah.
competition. I love that.
But but definitely over time, people did start to support. Like I feel like we're still in the beginning right now.
Mm,
I feel like it's been a long time,
hmm
but I feel like we're still in the beginning phase. And there's a lot of people that have started to support us now from the local scene
mm.
and from like like the internet scene. We've gotten a good amount of support, way more than I had fucking expected, honestly.
Bro, that's amazing. It's true. I'm seeing it happen. One thing that I learned from the Magnus X interview is that you had Drowsy South, I believe, in 2017. Is that when it began?
I mean, technically, it's a technicality because I believe that when we officially were like, yeah, we should do like a collective and we named it Drowsy South and we had it all, once we made it like an official thing, it was probably like December of 2017. So technically that's correct,
Okay.
but it's like right before 2018, you know? So.
So, guys, so talk about how Drowsy South was around that time compared to now.
Oh man, it was like it was different and it was the same in some ways because it was a lot of hungry people that really wanted to make a name for themselves. But I felt like at that time it was also some uncertainty. Like some people weren't sure if this was what they wanted to do. I think you know what I mean. And we've gone through lots of different like lineup changes since then.
Mm,
But I don't hold anything against anyone. It's just like the group is figuring itself out
mm.
for a time. And that's what our new project is about. Our new mixtape as a group, the Drowsy Tape, is kind of capturing that era of whenever we were first trying to figure this shit out. What the fuck was this gonna be? You know?
Yo, okay. You brought up the Drowsy South tape, dude. I want to applaud you, bro. That tape is amazing. Gotta give you love on that tape. I want to know what was on your mind. What was your execution? What was the goal for that?
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that a lot.
You got it.
Um, so what was on my mind? Well, like the project, we made it over several years. I believe Magnus talked with you about that, but we made it over several years.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the idea like 2019 maybe, or probably 2020. I think it was probably early 2020 that I had like the sound for the project. I had always wanted to do a project for the group, like the collective that we all did together as a
Mm-hmm.
group, but I just never had an idea. And then the sound just came into my mind one day, like the beat style and the way I wanted to rap on it and the way I wanted everybody to sound on it.
Hmm.
And whenever that came into my mind, I remember I spent like a week just making a shitload of beats, and that's where we got the majority of the beats from for the tape.
Whoa.
And then it went through a series of changes, but it started pretty early on, like 2020 probably, and it had like different phases. Like I made all the beats real quick, then I put all my verses on real quick, and then slowly I got some verses from Doug, and I was trying to get other members to put verses, and then people came and left the group and stuff. It took years. And then Mark joined Magnus. He joined the group and he put all his stuff on the tape, all his verses, and then Doug finished his verses, and that was like 2 years after we had started it. So it was
Yo.
like there these big gaps in between where we were all just living our lives and going through it and shit and barely making music sometimes we were just grinding out our own music and we are just putting this thing together over that time. But I felt like the intention was always to represent that beginning, to represent this is the beginning of something, to represent them early years that we had to go through to make this cool ass album that I think is like one of my favorite projects I've been a part of for sure.
Mm.
Like I really enjoy the songs. I listen to them all the time. That's what I made it for.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's definitely a moment that's gonna be here for a very long time, bro. It's a forever moment. So are you completely naked? Is that you? Is that your producer tag?
Yes, my producer tag is completely naked, and I produced the whole project myself. I engineered it all myself. I'm pretty sure I recorded all the verses myself, except for like two, maybe. But yeah, I made the project.
Bro, GG said God, oh my goodness, bro. Because not only does everything sound so crisp and like good, the beats are amazing. And I can't believe you're the one I did it. I had no idea you were completely naked.
Yeah, man, definitely. I'm
Whoa.
100% am, and I made all the beats myself. Most of pretty much all my projects that I do, my solo projects, I make all the beats. I don't think I rapped on a solo beat that's not mine.
Oh wow.
So, of course, with this project, I just felt like I wanted to create a specific sound, for my group.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the next project we do as a group, I'll probably have maybe other producers on it that are in the group. Like Pat will probably throw some beats in. Magnus
Yo.
gonna start making beats. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I just wanted something that was like my baby.
You know what's so crazy, Sticky, is that one day, soon enough, you're gonna see on YouTube Drowsy Southside Beats.
Oh, definitely. I call them drowsy beats, man.
Drowsy Beats, baby.
Like headshot, bro. That's a drowsy beat. It has that drowsy vibe to
Hmm.
it.
Dude, I'm loving that, bro. Now, look, dude, a lot of times I see artists put out fire bangers, but they go on to the next thing and they kind of let's just like abandon it in a sense. What do you feel is success when it comes to this tape?
To this tape.
Yeah,
What do you mean? Like, what do I feel
like
is like
like the peak number where you can move on and be happy with.
the peak number of what?
Oh,
Of
like
like,
the views, the plays, getting out there to the
man.
fan base.
So I had no expectations dropping the project. My only thing that I think is that I think it'll grow on people. Like, my expectation for this is that even if it's not popular right now, I think it has the potential to grow after being on the internet for a long time, type of thing.
100%. I agree with you with the potential to grow, bro. Because when I was interviewing Magnus X, and I would like you to go further on this, he told me that, he did his verses in 2020 or around that time. And this whole tape didn't sound age at all, bro. It's really timeless, like he said. Can you go further on that?
Yeah, that's definitely a goal of my music is to make it kind of timeless. Like I really want something that people can listen to years in the future, decades in the future, and it still bops. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound aged or nothing, or something that people could have heard back in the day. Like
Yeah.
if people back in the day had heard this, they would be like, "That's just pretty tight." I feel like,
For
yeah.
real. It does have like that. It has like that old school sound with the futuristic sound. That's why it's timeless, bro. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. I try to marry old school vibes with
Uh,
like new school production, you know?
mm. All right,
That's
bro.
a whole vibe.
Hey, yo, Stigga. So you guys are pretty good at dropping music videos and having those be like heat. Like whoever edits those videos. Matter of fact, drop the name. Who edits those videos?
Man, it's been a couple different people. You know, we used to have my buddy Chris Soto, his name's Soto, that's his like artist name, I believe. He used to edit some of our videos back in the day, and then it was my cousin Benny did some. Me and Magnus directed a couple of the videos, and like Get It How I Live It. I just contacted somebody. Like I went and I watched this Xavier Wolf music video, this older one, and I went and contacted the guy who edited it, and I got him to do it. Fuck, I don't remember his fucking name, but I wish I did. But he was real good at what he did. I'm sure it says it in the description of the video, but he was real good at what he did. And it's just like that. Like I try to reach out to different people and get them to put in their artistic viewpoint. Like whenever I have an
Mm,
idea for a music video, I can picture in my mind like who I think would shoot it good, or like I could picture in my mind like who I think would edit it really well, or
mm.
maybe I suddenly stumble upon somebody who I think like, oh, they would edit this idea I had really well, you know?
Bro, the vision is there, dude. I'm on the description right now. It says directed by Stick God, Magnus X, and Benny Ray Vasquez, and edited beautifully by Jack Rodier.
Yeah, so Benny Ray Vasquez, that's my cousin. Shout out Benny.
Mm.
He's like a big film guy, he's pretty good at what he does. And then what did you say the other guy's name was? Rotier?
Jack Rodier.
Jack Rodier. I don't know
Yeah,
how you say it, but
yeah.
he's very good at what he does. I watched a whole bunch of his videos he edited, and he's very good. I fucked with it a lot. He took this like really bad quality camera footage we had and made it look pretty cool. I
That's
liked it a
bad.
lot.
Hey yo, bro. Shout out to them because my next question there is, from the Drowsy Style tape, are you planning on doing any music videos?
Ooh, you're gonna put me on the spot there to just reveal some things, man. Okay.
Get
Yeah,
the
we are definitely
exclusive.
gonna do some. I think we're gonna do some that are unexpected, and we're gonna do some that you would definitely expect.
Mm,
But
okay.
there will be some. It's gonna be spread out. It's not gonna be real quick, but there will be some.
Okay. Okay. Now, one thing that I really want to do, bro, is even if it's just one line, it's okay. I want to get your what's the word I'm looking for? I'm gonna name the tracks one by one. I just want you to say something about each track. If it's your favorite, what was you're thinking about, whatever that comes up to your mind. So the first track here, Sleepy Cipher.
It's a really good song, but it took a fucking long ass time to make.
Mouth of the South.
Mouth of the South, that's probably my favorite track on the tape.
Townsville.
Very heartfelt, like the anthem.
Chokehold, number four.
Some of the best bars I've ever heard. Doug is so talented.
Track five, Gold.
Um, Very Jay Dilla inspired beat. The only I think that's one of the only beats that has like a sample, like a real sample in it.
What sample do you know?
Fuck, I don't remember. It's some jazz artist that
That's
I
bad.
heard while I was working at Domino's. I heard him on the Alexa, and I was like, Alexa, what's this song? And then I sampled it.
Hey, dog, that's
For real.
tight. Shout out to
It's really
Alexa.
good though. He's super talented. He's like a trumpeter or some shit.
That's tight. Track six, Suitcase.
Very sad.
Mm. Track seven, Headshot.
That's the one, baby. That's the one.
Mm.
I love it.
Track eight, Drop Top.
That's for like riding around. I feel
Mm.
like sounds great in the car.
Track nine, Rewind.
Um, it's very like heartfelt and very unique bars, like kind of MF Doom chorus.
Dude, RIP MF, dude.
R.I.P. MF Doom. He's the goat. Oh my god, that's like MF Doom is like one of my favorite rappers for sure.
Dog, I love it. Gotta give him his flowers, you know.
For real, miss him.
Track 10, Forever.
It's like, oh man, it's like eternal. It's like leaving behind this legacy of. It felt like saying goodbye. That's what I would say about it. It felt like saying goodbye to that era and moving on to something else. Like Doug is retiring, so it's kind of like saying goodbye to Doug in a way, and it's also like saying
Whoa.
goodbye to that era.
Whoa, what do you mean Doug's retiring?
Doug's retiring. We said that whenever we dropped the record that this is the last record Doug is gonna be on with us.
But is the reason public or is it private?
Well, Doug just doesn't want to do it anymore. It's just not. I don't think it's just not in his heart anymore. It's cool.
I hear that. I hear that.
He just doesn't enjoy it. That's what he told me. I'm like, that's fine, man. That's all
Mm,
good. We're still homies with Doug. He came out. He did the photo shoot. He's gonna come out and do a music video. Doug's he's still very much drowsy. He's just not rapping right now.
I hear that. Now, Sticky G, why is track 2, Mouth of the South, your favorite record?
Man, the beat is so good. I mean, in my opinion, even though I know people will say that the bass is a little overpowering, but it's kind of intentional, and I just like it. It's just the beat's very like almost like trip hop or nujabes. I tried to make like a nujabes style thing almost. I mean, that's probably my favorite producer, and the way we rapped on it as well. I feel like it's unexpected. Like the beat is very boom bap and the
Hmm.
way we rap is very. I feel like that's part of the draw of a lot of our music is that we rap in ways you wouldn't expect on these beats.
For real, dude. I think every song just holds its own weight, bro. I can't even really pick a favorite. I know that I DM'd you some of my favorite songs, but after listening to it so many times, I mean, it's on repeat. It's just I can't pick a favorite. And what I want to know is there a story behind the track listing, or was it random?
It's just kind of like supposed to have this flow to it. There's no like conceptual story to this record. It feels more like a concept record in that it represents something, but in an abstract way. You know what I mean? It's like
Mm,
all of the songs have this vibe and the record has this flow to it. Like some people told me they felt like the song Suitcase kind of stopped like the vibe of the project. They were like, I didn't really fuck with that song because like the project was going hard and y'all were going in and like it was real upbeat and then all of a sudden it got real like it just like threw off the vibe and I was just in my mind I was like that's valid but it's like kind of how it's supposed to be like a break, you know what I mean?
yes,
So
yeah.
the whole the way I structured the project was just like I wanted to be very meticulous about it having a good flow to it and all the songs feel like right, they feel like in their correct place.
Almost deaf, dude. One thing that I admire a lot is a change of pace on a tape. You know what I mean? And when I heard Suitcase, I had to like rewind it a couple of times to really catch what you were saying. I'm like, damn, this some deep shit. How much of your story of your real life story are you putting into your music?
Man, okay, I'm only talking about my real life, to be honest.
Mm.
Like, I mean, there's parts where I would embellish, but not really in songs like this. Like, if I'm talking about something personal, it's definitely related to my real life. I've gone through like a lot in the last year, probably, and it's just I always try to. This is like my therapy. This is how I get this shit out. So I have to put my thoughts somewhere and my emotions somewhere, and this is where I put them in a way that I feel like the world can understand. Like I don't feel like I can express myself to the world in a way that it would understand in any other way. So it's definitely real. Like everything I talked about on that song is definitely 100% part of my real life.
Yeah, dog. I really felt that. There's some similarities in the song that I really felt. Being a dad and all. So I totally get that. I gotta give you a round of applause for that record, bro. Some good stuff.
Thank
So
you.
you got it, bro. Sticky G. So earlier I mentioned that the last time we did an interview was in 2021, and my
Yeah.
bro, my goodness, so much has changed. We're in the year 2023. Talk about some of the changes that happened in your life and how much you've grown since then.
Man, I meant to do an interview with you in 2022. It just didn't come around, so we're doing it in early 2023.
Hmm.
But a lot has changed, man. Like you know, I was making music. I started I started a family in like 2019. So I had a family, and then I've gone since then. I've gone from being a family man all the time for a while, for several months, to like I didn't used to play shows, and then I started playing shows all the time, and instead of being in the studio, I'd be playing shows, and I had like a family for a long time, and then I got divorced. Like a lot of things have just changed, and I've moved a lot. I've moved to several different places. Like I've lived in a lot of different places in the last couple of years. It's been fucking hectic, man, and I'm trying to find some fucking peace of mind while I'm doing all this stuff, and then I'm making like 100 fucking songs every fucking year. It's difficult, but I'm
Uh,
getting there, man. I stay optimistic.
yeah, I love that, bro. I love that. What do you think you get that from, or you think you're just born that way?
Well, with the optimism,
Yeah, just having that grit, that determination.
man, the thing is you just really got to know your purpose, man. Like the thing is like no matter what happens, I know that this is my purpose. Like I have a talent and I should not squander it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And like knowing that you have a purpose, it's kind of like you always have something to work towards and something that is gonna fucking work out. You know what I mean? Just something that it just it's calming to your mind and it keeps you optimistic. And also, it's never good to like dwell on things. I don't dwell on anything. If something bad happens, I brush it off. I feel like usually a lot of the time I'll brush it off. You know?
That's actually real good. You don't want to hold on to anything. I think that's a good message
No,
for
like
anyone listening.
I'll acknowledge it. Like you got to deal with things, and sometimes you have to grieve. Like I went through divorce, and I had to grieve, and you have to grieve, but like you also have to like keep moving forward. Like you can't focus on that shit.
True, but I think the pain is valid. A lot of times people don't realize that getting divorced or having a breakup like that, it literally feels like someone died.
Well, it's like my whole life changed. I had like a family and shit, and now
Yeah.
it's just me and my daughter. And my whole life has changed. Tons of things about my life have changed since then. It's completely different than it was before. It's kind of shocking. It feels like.
Too, bro, it's not in vain, bro. You guys are really working hard. You guys are workaholics, and that's just from my perspective. With you, bro, and Drowsy South, are you guys aligned in a sense of reaching the same type of fame? Because when I talked to Magnus X, he says he's trying to make it all the way big.
We are. Well,
Mm,
everybody in the group has their own individual ideals. Like the I'm sure you know by now. You know us. You followed us. The whole thing that our group is about is that we're a collective, but we embrace individuality. So like we
yes.
want everybody to be equally as successful, or we at least want everybody to thrive. You know what I mean? We want everybody to be individually themselves. It doesn't have to be we're always putting into the group. We can be making our own music and shit, and we can be doing our own sounds, and you know what I mean. It's just like I don't know.
You're a leader, Stick God, and being a founder of this collective, what is a piece of advice you can give someone that's maybe wants to start a collective?
Well, you should just do it, man. I think if you want to do, if there's anything you want to do, you should just do it. Like if you have an idea and you feel passionate enough about it, I mean, you shouldn't think too much about it. Like it's good to have a little plan, but you shouldn't spend all your time planning. I think with anything that you want to do,
Mm,
the key is action. The key is always action and consistency, man. Just
for real.
action and consistency. Eventually, you'll get somewhere.
I like that. Now let's talk about where you were at, the process behind halfway home and half asleep.
Halfway home and half asleep. All right, hold on. 1 second. I'm lighting my cigar. One second.
Oh, no worries.
um,
Oops.
halfway home and half asleep. I believe I made the beats for that. Probably in the beginning of 2022, like the spring, and then I know I rapped on some of it. I know riding solo. I made that song a long time ago, and I made a lot of the rest of the project around that song. And
Mm.
the rest of the project I made pretty concisely, like at the same time, but it was just years after I made Riding Solo. And so I made the beats in the early 2022, and then in the summer of 2022, right after like my divorce and everything, I'm like living on my own, like, kind of feeling fucking lonely all the time because I'm not with my kid all the time anymore. And so I had like my homies come over all the time. We're always working on music, always like having a good time, throwing parties and stuff. And we were making a lot of music at the time, the Drowsy South was, because we're always getting together. We all live close to each other. I lived in the middle of everybody. And just in my spare time, I would put that project together. Like, we'd be working on music, and I wouldn't tell nobody that in the background, I'm working on Halfway Home and Half Asleep, which is like one of the most depressing fucking projects I've ever made.
Yo.
I'm like making it by myself when, like, basically at my apartment, I was so used to having everybody around all the time because I never wanted to be alone. And then whenever I was alone, I was like, I gotta do something. And so I was working on that project and rapping on that project when nobody's around, you know?
Does it feel like you getting a load off when you do something like that?
Oh, 100%, man. Like, what it's all about was very relieving to rap out loud. Man, like, I can't even remember doing it. It felt like surreal. I remember making a lot of that project felt surreal. Like, sometimes when you go in to record things, like, you'll write them out and you'll be conscious of that, but when you go in to record it, it becomes like a very surreal experience. I don't know if it's because it's muscle memory or what, like all the movements you make and like, oh, you got to stop the recording, restart the recording, stop it, delete it, record. Like, and do it like you just do it
Hmm.
so fast and so efficiently that it becomes like ethereal or something, or surreal feeling, and nothing feels fucking real. And I don't even remember it sometimes. Like, I feel like I black out and I'm recording. You know, it's just like I go
Yeah.
into the zone or something, man.
Yo, I feel that, dude. When I listen to What's It All About, it kind of feels like smoking a cigarette. It's just relieving.
Yes, oh my god, that's the best description I've ever heard of that song. Feels like smoking a cigarette, like out in the rain on your fucking
Mm,
porch or something, man.
dead ass, dude, for real.
Reflecting. The song's about reflecting, so I guess that is part of it.
That's beautiful. Bro, so I was listening to the Drowsy South tape, and when the tape ended, it went to related tracks,
Yeah.
and your song Pull Up played, and that was I have never heard it before, and now it's one of my favorite tracks from you, bro. Talk about Pull Up.
Yeah, that's an older song, man. That's an old one.
Mm-hmm.
That's from like, I think it's from like 2020, maybe. Maybe 2019. I think it's 2020. I think it's early 2020. Um, that's a cool song. I really enjoyed making it because it's fucking, like, the beat's really cool, and then I wrote all the lyrics and they're very silly, and so it was a lot of fun to record, man. It's just like I remember it's like the first song on that tape, I think, and I was like, I want to come in swinging. I want to fucking blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Bro, for real, you do come swinging, dude.
It was so
Oh,
fun.
yeah, I love that song, bro. I feel like I said, I feel like a lot of artists put out music that's so dope, but they just keep going. And sometimes I don't know how you feel, but to me, it feels like it just drowns it out a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, I try to always be changing, man. That's the main
Mm,
thing. Always be changing. Don't let nobody put me in a box and be like, oh, I like the old sound. There was no old
mm,
sound. I was always changing.
damn. Yo, get my shit from the CIA.
Do I say that?
You say that on a GAT MFM? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Give
Oh,
me
that's
all
an
the
old
motherfucking
one.
money.
That's what
Yup.
it is. It's give me all the motherfucking money. I'm glad that you figured that out. Shit.
Bro, you said get my shit
Yeah.
from the CIA, and then you had a line saying,
Yeah.
killing civilians, that's terrorism. Unless it's the US, then it's terrorism. Bro,
Yeah.
crazy bars. I had to rewind it when I heard that, dude.
That's old, man. That's a real old project. That's like whenever I re-debuted to the world as like a more polished rapper. That was like the first thing that I had dropped was that project. It's called Ghetto Minds. It's like
Mm,
it feels like a comic book. Looking back,
mm.
it feels like a comic book. All those songs do. I love that song. It has some Scarface samples.
Dude, I love that you just keep your music up too, by the way. You
Yeah,
don't
man. Of course.
you don't private it, you're not ashamed of it. It's out there for anyone to listen
Yeah.
to.
I don't care for the mixing of a lot of my music. Like, I'm not a big fan of any of the mixing of my music before, like Dirty Bay Bastard. But
Right.
I'm not gonna remaster them or take them down because I think that the mixing of them kind of like adds to the charm of the music and it dates it and it
Mm.
shows like this progression. You know what I mean? That's why I don't really take them down.
It definitely does show that the growth, especially in you got. But what is your favorite album to this date?
Like that I made or just my favorite record
No, your favorite.
that anybody made?
No, like from your because I'm
Oh,
on
from
your
my music?
yeah, because I'm on your albums, bro, and you have a lot. One,
Like okay,
two, three, four, sorry, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, 12, bro.
mixtapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have about like 12 mixtapes. Yeah, man, I just make music all the time. They're not big mixtapes. I just want to be consistent. Put something out regularly, and I make like little. I feel like they're like character pieces or era pieces. Like they all have a certain aesthetic to
Mm,
them, a certain sound to them, and I don't know, man. My favorite. So if I were to go like overall, all of my music, definitely the Drowsy tape. But if we're talking about
mm-hmm,
my
mm-hmm.
solo music, probably the halfway home and half asleep, or Dirty Bay Bastard is very good as well. Dirty Bay
Um,
Bastard is really nice.
one of my things on my bucket list, bro, it has to happen is watching you guys perform live, dude. Because when I see it on Instagram, I get hyped. I can feel the energy coming out the screen, bro. Talk about like performing in some of your favorite songs to perform.
Hell yeah, man. So yeah, we've been performing a lot more. We've only performed in Texas so far, but we performed in Austin, Houston, Katy. I think we were gonna go perform in San Antonio soon. And like my favorite songs to perform, man. Well, like we have a lot of sorry, I was looking at something out my window. We have
No
we're
worries.
starting to get some fans or like, just like we have a lot of peers in the local scene that, we all listen to each other's music out here in Houston. And so like all my friends like they all ask me to play the same fucking songs. They all like Bad Company. And I'm like, Bad Company, that is kind of like it's like our song now. Like that's like our signature one right now.
That's right.
And I'm not mad that they want me to play it. I do love
Yeah.
playing that song. It's easy to perform. It's like a chill song. I'm glad they like a chill song because we have so many ones where I'm like, I'm not trying to do that the whole show, but but I like that too. If I can
Yeah.
pull it off, I do like that as well. Like everybody likes me to play Copycat, and I don't play that song nearly as much as I used to, but it's still very fun to play. That and Headshot. Like Doug, he's not gonna be recording more raps. I don't know if he's ever gonna come back, but he will come and play shows with us. He does. So when we play Headshot, that is definitely my favorite song to perform. Out of all of them, Headshot is just it's made for that. I feel like
100. I think there's a certain type of magic that is surrounded by that drowsy South tape, bro.
it definitely feels magical. That's part of the aesthetic. Is like a magical feeling, a mythical feeling.
For real. Who is there any artist you can name in the mainstream that you enjoy their live performances and maybe you learned a thing or two from them?
An artist in the mainstream.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really go watch a lot of big mainstream artists as much. I mostly go to like underground shows. But like performance wise, I'm this is gonna sound weird, but I really like Nine Inch Nails and
Oh yeah.
like Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson's performances were very good back in like the '90s. They were fucking
Woo!
sick, and
Ee.
shit like that. Like I really want to bring that like that kind of rock and roll vibe in a stage presence to the hip hop shit.
Yeah, I remember being a young and watching like Hanson and even Corn. They had those crazy lightings and their shows were just something
Corn is
different.
sick. Corn's dope, man. They're playing in drop A tunings on 7 string guitars on the radio, and they're like, and they're on the radio. You
Yeah,
gotta respect it,
got
yeah,
it,
man.
dog. Yeah, I like that. Bro, I have here a few questions on from the Instagram. Why is Stick God called Stick God?
Who asked that?
That is Pity Pat.
Oh my god, he already knows this.
It's for the
Okay,
viewers,
well,
bro.
okay. I'm pretty sure I said this in the last interview as well, and it is because actually, somebody else came up with it. It was the singer of my old band, The Burdens We Carry. His name is Chris Ramirez. He's like one of my best friends. He just started calling me that one day, I think, because we had just started rapping. Like, we had just started getting into, like, really trying to rap ourselves and trying to make beats ourselves. And that's what he was like, that would be a cool name, bro. And I was like, maybe. And then, and then I just ran with it.
Yo, so I don't remember if you brought this up in our first podcast, but I did learn it from Magnus is that you were in a metal band. You did bring it up just now, but
Yeah.
talk about that.
Well, Well, that's kind of where I like started. Was in like the hardcore metal scene. I was always trying to get into like a metalcore or a hardcore band. Like ever since probably like middle school, I was trying to form bands and like join bands that my friends had formed or that I had heard about, like around town and shit. And I was in not just a metal band. I was in like quite a few. I tried out for a lot of different bands and joined different bands, and I started a lot of bands. I mostly formed them with my buddy that I was talking about, Chris. I believe he raps now too. His name's Pico. He's still pretty
Pico.
cool. Yeah, but we used to form a lot of bands, and the big one that he's probably thinking of is the Burdens We Carry, which was the last band that we had formed. Pity Pat used to be in that band as well at one point.
What the burdens we
Yep.
carry? No way with Pat. No way, bro. That's so tight.
No, me and Pat go way back. You don't even know. Me and Mr. Patrick O'Brien, we go back
Yeah,
way like fucking 10, at least 10 years, man. Maybe more than that.
dog. That is good company, bro. You guys are solid. Amen says here, first song he ever listened to.
First song I ever listened to. Fuck. Oh my god. I don't know if I remember. I don't know if I remember the first song I listened to. I'm trying to think of maybe like my first memory of listening to music. And I
Yeah.
really think like some of my earliest memories were either like like real ghetto sounding rap, or like my mom, I remember she told me before that whenever I was a kid in like kindergarten or first grade or something that I got in trouble because I was like singing some Mike Jones song or rapping some Mike Jones song in
That's
the
tight.
hallways. It was like the I'm a freak in the bed or whatever, you know? And I got in trouble for that. I guess I was like, she
Woo.
had me listen. I know she had me listening to like that fucking Memphis shit. For some reason, she was listening to like the Chicken Head Project Pat and shit like that. So, and she told me I got in trouble for singing that too. But I mean, that or
Yo.
like Nine Inch Nails for sure. Nine Inch Nails and early rock and roll or
Mm-hmm.
Britney Spears. I remember Britney Spears for sure.
Oh yeah, bro. Brittany was
That's
she's still a queen,
that's
bro.
I was just perfectly placed to be the perfect demographic to listen to Britney Spears. Like,
Yeah, dude. I remember her first CD. I bought that.
dude, yeah, seriously, like
For
the
real.
beats were fucking good.
Yeah, they are, dude. No hate on that side. My first song that I ever heard, bro, was Puff the Magic Dragon.
Puff the what?
Have you ever heard that? Puff the Magic Dragon?
Puff the Magic Dragon. Who's that by?
Yo, okay. So whenever you get free time, bro, I don't know who it's by, but whenever you get free time, bro, check that song out. I'll send you the link. I'll do that. You're gonna have a
Please
trip, bro.
do.
Say
That
what?
sounds so familiar. That sounds
Yeah.
so familiar, man.
Let me give you a little bit of it. It goes, Puff the magic dragon, live by the sea. It's insane, bro. It's a beautiful song. I'm gonna have to send it.
That's hard.
Um, Next
Wow.
question is by Troubled. He says, "What is your purpose in music other than having fun, and why?"
I really want to push boundaries. Like I am um like first and foremost, the reason I'm interested in this is because I'm very, very interested in music theory and like how music works and like how to bend the rules and do shit people don't expect. And I can like see where there are boundaries to be crossed, and I want to cross them. I want to push them. I want to
Mm,
make stuff that hasn't. I really want to make music I haven't heard. Like I want to make shit that I want to listen to that doesn't exist. You know,
yeah.
that's a big part of it.
What are your thoughts on the music industry?
I think it's kind of fucked up. Like a lot of it's pretty fucked up, but you can navigate it. Especially now, it's gonna become a lot easier to be like an independent artist. You know, I think it's gonna start becoming a lot easier to have like your own independent record label and shit. Like I am like dedicated to having an independent record label. I'm always gonna be with Drowsy South. If we take any kind of deal, it's going to be like a distribution deal. I'm not about to leave my homies, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
so my main motive, my main thing that has inspired me is like looking at people like Master P. You know what I mean? Master
Oh
P did
yeah.
that shit independent, man. He said his thing that he said whenever he started the thing, whenever he started No Limit Records, he was like, "We're gonna be an independent record label, but they're gonna treat us like a major label." And
Yes.
that's like what I base my shit on, man. For real, I really want to. I think that the underground is the mainstream now. Like everybody listens
Yes.
to their own little subculture. Everybody
Yep.
listens to their own little style of music, and we can be the biggest niche in that motherfucker. I mean,
For
look
real.
at look at other people who've done it independently, like Chance the Rapper, Suicide Boys. They're like some of the
Mm-hmm.
biggest artists in the world. You know?
Yeah, for real. And if you want to take it back, you can even go to like Tech Nine.
Yeah, man, it's totally possible. Like,
What's the
the,
Go ahead.
oh no, man, I was coughing. I'm sorry.
No worries. I was gonna say, what are the differences between Drowsy South as like the family collective and Drowsy South, the label?
I am really glad you asked that because they are separate entities, and I've been like, trying to make that a point, but I need to get it more clearly across that like Drowsy South as a collective, that's just like me and my homies supporting each other, making music together, doing chasing what we want to do, you know what I mean? And it's like its own thing. And then Drowsy South Records is like the record label that I am starting. Well, I've started it, but it's like the record label that I've been running, and I'm trying to get more traction under, and it's more intimate. Like me and Magnus run that. We really
Mm,
try to like run it like a business, as
mm,
opposed to Drowsy South. The collective is run more as like art, like we're artists.
I feel that um
Yeah.
if later on we get people listening to this interview and they're in your area, they're in the South, what are some of the criteria to get into that label?
Man, I don't know. Right now, it's pretty exclusive, because we're just kind of managing ourselves and trying to get some traction under the artists we have right now. But like once eventually we will be like trying to sign other artists and shit. And I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't thought a lot about the criteria. Just because, like I said, we haven't really thought about adding anybody. We already have enough artists right now that we're trying to really focus on. But if we did want to add some people, it would just be like I'd have to like your music first off, and then I'd have to think that you have like a brain. Like you'd have to be
Mm,
interesting to me. You know what I mean? You'd have to
mm-hmm.
be somebody that I admire your intellect, at least musically. You know what I mean? And it'd have to be somebody who meshes with the group. Like you'd have to come and do like a trial period, like where you come and hang out with us and make music with us for several months, and our morals have to line up. You know what I mean? It just has to feel natural. Like we added GQ to the group, GQ Smooth, and
Mm,
she's like the fucking homie, you know, and she's like I've known her for a long time from high school and shit. We just had mutual friends and we always knew of each other. We hung out before and shit, and she just meshed perfectly with the group. You know what I
mm,
mean? Just like one of my best friends now. But
mm.
even we even had to put GQ through the fucking trial. You know, come came and
Yeah,
hang out with us and fucking made music with us for a couple months, and then we were like, all right. Like I remember literally being in. It was pretty. Also, I like the way that GQ did it because she came to me direct. Like we were chilling in my room. It was like everybody else had left. Like we had a little party. Everybody else had left. It was just me and Kel. That's GQ's name. It was me and Kel was just like, "Yo, like I just really like I want to find like my place in the rap world." I'm kind of paraphrasing, but that's like she basically
yeah.
said like she had not felt like she belonged with some like a scene or a group yet, but whenever she started listening to our music and hanging out with us, that she really felt like she belonged with this group, and this is like the type of music she's supposed to be doing.
Mm,
And you know what I mean? It's just
yeah,
like it just depends. Like it's just got to happen. You know what I mean? That was not planned at all. That was just making music with people, and then they're like, "Hey," like she approached me one on one. I was like, "Definitely." Like that was
mm,
already what I had in mind. Like,
yeah.
we already been making music for a while, of course.
Yo, I think that's a great recipe for success for sure, dude. I like that. Now with GQ Smooth, does she have any music available right now?
There's one song. It's called "Hustle and Flow," featuring Chris the Breadwinner, and
Mm,
it's a fucking dope song. It's got a little vibe to it. It's bouncy. I like it. Um, she's been recording music with us. We have some stuff coming out soon. It's gonna be
yo,
tight. Like
looking forward to that, bro. Now, Stick God, your whole team, bro. You guys really put on for the South. Like you can feel the love. It's genuine. But this is the question that I have for you. Will you live out your days there, or do you feel like you're gonna move out of state and die somewhere else?
you asked Magnus this as well, and I believe you asked Pat this before too, huh?
Yes. Pat said
I want, yeah,
Pat said he's dying in Texas, and I believe
yep.
Magnus says he's going elsewhere.
I want to travel. Okay, I really want to travel. I always wanted to travel around the world, and my way of traveling might not be. I wanted to go and live in different places, but now I have a child. I have like to be here. You know what I mean? So
Mm,
I want to go and travel, like going on tours and stuff. I think that would be
mm,
ideal, and go see the world. But I do definitely want to come back to Texas because I love Texas, and in specific, I love Houston. This fucking city is
mm.
awesome. Like this place is. I feel so blessed to fucking be from Houston. It's insane. Like, what? You're telling me I'm from here? Like, do you know who's from here? What the fuck?
For real, legends, legends, bro. It's like you said, the underground is the new mainstream, dude. We're heading at a different direction, and I'm very excited. And I'm past optimistic because it's happening. You know.
Yeah, man, it definitely is.
Here, Robert has a funny question for you, and I would like to
Of course he
know.
does.
He says, "Is Stick God completely naked right now?"
Right now, I'm always completely naked, baby. Always. I don't got no clothes on.
Yo, speaking
If you
on
watch
that,
my stories, if you watch my stories, I don't ever got a shirt on.
bro. Speaking on that, why is it that name?
Completely naked.
Yeah.
I believe I seen how Mac Miller, his producer name is Larry Fisherman, and
Hmm.
Earl Sweatshirt's producer name is what the fuck is Earl Sweatshirt's producer name? It's some weird thing. Random black dude. That's what it is. And so I was like, I was like trying to come up with something weird like that, and the ones I came up with were old homeless man or completely naked. And I was like, completely naked sounds sick, man. And then I was like, I could put a little period at the beginning so it says .com, and it's like dot
Yeah.
completely naked, you know?
You know what, bro? You can create a comic book called Old Man.
Old homeless man.
Yeah, Old Homeless Man, bro.
That would be pretty sick, man. Old
Yo,
homeless man comic book.
being the musician that you are, bro, is there anything like other than music that you're good at? Anything artistic?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm not very good visual artist. I can't draw. I can't paint. I'm fucking terrible at that stuff. I can't. I don't be
Hmm.
putting my album covers together. If I do, it's just like a photograph I took. But but I do want to get into film eventually. I don't know if I'm talented there, but I think that would be something really cool to get into is film. And I also like to think I'm not too bad at basketball.
Hey, that's tight. That's tight. Yo, what about have you played some basketball with the boys?
With the boys, no, you know what? We need to, man. I usually just go and practice all the time, but I mean, we need to. We talked about it.
Talk about a moment. Talk about the moment and the energy of having like your whole team in a studio.
It's the best fucking feeling in the world, man. When everybody's just hanging out, smiling, where, people are getting their drink on, maybe smoking a little bit or something, just having a
Yeah.
good time. And we're all just like in sync. I feel like we would be having parties and other people would be over, just like, people we know from around town and friends of friends and shit. And we would all just be locked up in the studio, like looking at each other, like, all right, let's fucking make this banger right now,
Mm-hmm.
boy. Like,
Yeah.
you
Damn,
know,
bro.
it's a
Incredible.
vibe. It's the best feeling in the world. Like, I don't feel any type of stress or anxiety at that time. I just feel like I'm with my family and we're doing what we're supposed to do. Like, it's what we're put on the earth to do.
Yes. Yes. Incredible, bro. Incredible. I feel like Drowsy South, the momentum is climbing so high, dude, and beautiful things are definitely coming. You did bring up that, you might work on a music video here and there. You're not gonna give us too much info. I know that Drowsy South got some things in the works, and we talked about, your resolutions at the top of the podcast, but what are some of your goals, if you have any, for 2023?
I definitely want to do more music videos for sure. I want to do a lot more. Like Drowsy South tape, we're going to spread those music videos out, but I want to do solo videos. I want to do solo videos for everybody in the group, not just myself, And then I
Mm-hmm.
want to do, we have other stuff coming out. Like I have a side project with Pat that's like a band. We have like a
Oh,
band and we're going to
damn.
drop that music as well. And we're going to drop videos for that. Hopefully we're trying to do a lot more next year, like way more content, more interaction. Like I'm trying to come up, man. It's got to do what the fuck we
Yes.
got to do.
Hey, bro, the momentum is going. It hasn't paused, dog. It's going right now, dude. A little fun fact, bro. Give us a fun fact about Stick God that we don't know about.
A fun fact. Oh man. Um, I really am hardcore obsessed with the game Final Fantasy 9. I really like that game. It's fucking sick. I'm like I could tell
Hey,
you a lot of things about that fucking video game.
that's
I spent
tight.
countless hours of my childhood playing it, like that.
Yo,
And then maybe I can hold my breath for a while. Like
ah,
for
got your,
somebody who has asthma, that's impressive.
yo, that's real impressive. That's good. Maybe you think it's because of the altitude or where you live?
Nah, it's just because I used to hold my breath underwater all the time. My brother dunked
Practice.
my head underwater and shit.
Yeah. Bro,
Damn,
stick
bro.
stick for all the listeners that are gonna listen later, new people that never heard of you and they're interested, where do you want to send them? What catalog, what songs? Let them know.
Definitely listen to my group's new project, The Drowsy Tape by Drowsy South. It's like one of my favorite projects I think I will ever make. It's
Mm,
going to be one of the big highlights of our catalog. And I think if you don't get in on it early, if you don't get in on it early, you're going to
mm.
like wish that you did, you know?
It's a moment, you
So
know. Yeah, it's historic, bro. I keep telling people like this is a historic moment, and y'all don't want to
we're
miss
good.
this.
We rap, man. We fucking rap. Like, we don't play.
Yeah, you guys get it done. And I have this question too, by the way. So Pat dropped a track called "Friends Well Done" with a beautiful art piece, bro. Talk about that.
It's dope, man. It's a heartfelt song. I really like it, and I love Pat's music. I love For Starters. I love just everything he does is really good. He's super talented, and that song is really dope. Actually, that's one of my favorite new songs, and it really cued in. I felt like a new era, you know, a new era
Yeah,
of Drowsy South after this project. We're dropping so much more music, you know.
for real. I think you're right. It's like a cherry on top to that era, you know? New chapter.
Yeah, it's a cherry on top. Exactly. Yeah.
I like that. So stick God, we had a beautiful podcast, got a lot of new information from you. Is there anything that we didn't hit on that you would like the fans to know?
Well, I would just like to touch once again on the fact that Doug is retiring. DUG, it's really like it sucks, man. Doug is my favorite rapper in the group. I've said this before. I think Doug is immensely talented, and it's really sad to me. But at the same time, you know, I want him to do what he wants to do, and that's my fucking boy. And that's kind of what this whole last project we did is about. You know, so I wanted to take a moment to just celebrate that Doug was one of the best rappers in this fucking group. Like one of the fucking best, man. He's so good. That's
Yo, shout out to DUG Doug. You know, even though he's retiring, hopefully maybe we can get a podcast in with them.
100%, bro. He's coming to the podcast. I'm about to do a
Yeah.
podcast. We're gonna do a podcast. Drowsy South's gonna do one. Don't tell
Mm.
nobody. I'm just kidding. But
Yeah, let's
but
be
we're gonna
very
do a
careful.
podcast. We'll definitely get Doug on there. I'm trying to get Doug, trying to get
Yeah.
a bunch of Houston locals. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, bro, that's gonna be a moment. You let me know when you want to set that up. I'll be waiting
Yeah.
patiently.
Hell yeah.
Bro, mad love your way for you and every one of your members in your collective. And I got nothing but beautiful things to say about your collective family and the label, bro. Um, Last words, bro. Any last words?
I just want to, thank everybody that worked on that project that we just dropped, man. We dropped it on my birthday, Drowsy Tape, and it was my birthday present to myself. And I just want to thank everybody who worked on it, everybody who continues to support us, and, everybody who works on music with us, believes in us. And,
Yes.
I want to shout out everybody. I want to shout out, Drowsy South, everybody that's in it. That means, Magnets X, Pity Pat, GQ, Chased by the Wave. I want to shout out like a whole bunch of people in the Houston scene, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Boneyard Boys is from fucking San Antonio, just Texas in general. Like P Killa, Pussy Killa, she's from the Austin, Texas, man. We got Scozy, I think he's from Austin. I don't remember. We got fucking Jello Mari from Houston. We got so many fucking people. We got Guap Mizzle from here. Who the fuck? There's so many, and these people are so nice, bro. I meet them and they're the nicest fucking people ever, dude. I love everybody out here.
I like
I wish I
that.
could remember more names right now. I mean, we got Lil Tuck. He just brought us to a show. We got Trat Sun, Scotty the Reaper. There's so many fucking cool people out here, man. I fuck with everybody. I love them. I wanted to shout out as many people as I could.
Mad love y'all, ladies and gentlemen. Don't waste no time. The Drowsy South Take, go check it out. It's everywhere, right? Stick God, it's in all platforms.
Yeah, it should be on everything. Yeah, it's on everything.
Y'all go like it, repost it, add it to a playlist, share this interview with all your friends. Stick God, thank you for blessing us and joining Upper Radio.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you having me on here, man. I love you. Thanks for supporting us for so long. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Love you, fam. Thank you for everyone watching. Y'all have a good night.